All right, I was about to release the video you're about to watch, and at the last minute, I decided to do an edit because I just placed two trades which are a part of the US Investing Championship. So these two trades right here, which are two put ladder trades for the weekly put ladder, for those who know that strategy, they brought in $1,300. You can see my net liquidation value here of $62,289. I started this competition account at $59,000. These are what are called weekly put ladder trades, but basically it's about a month's worth of profit. So $1,300 in 1 month divided by my starting balance here, which was a little less than a month ago. So those trades alone represented a 2.3% growth or return on my starting balance. But these are not the only strategies I'm using. If you've watched my YouTube video called Option Strategy Combos, The Secret to My Success, you will know that this is not the only strategy I'm using. Right now, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 strategies in play. So if we took that, and they all about, give or take, get about the same percent return. You know, it fluctuates. But anyway, if you take that monthly percent return times the 4 strategies I'm using right now, and if all 4 produce 2% a month, that my overall account will grow about 9% a month. And if you annualize that, that's about 112% a year. I don't know if that will happen. You know, that's theory. That's best case scenario because each strategy has a pro and con depending on what the market does. But I just wanted to show you these two trades. Now, let me load up the video that would explain this US investing competition, this account, and my approach, because I have 2 accounts in the competition now, and that's the purpose of this video, to let you know I now have 2 accounts that have 2 different approaches, and we will see where each account ends up at the end of the year and where I end up in the US Investing Championship. So let me load up that video and I hope you enjoy. Hey, this is Travis, and I am back to share with you some of the tools and techniques that allowed me to achieve financial freedom in only 5 years. If you count my failures to be fair, it's about an 11-year process. But once I finally committed and I stopped being an idiot and I actually started listening to my mentors, it took me about 5 years, and I was able to leave corporate America when I was 34. So I want to show you some of the ways, and well, mainly one of the tools that allowed me to do that. But for those who don't know who I am, my name is Travis Wilkerson. I am a former US investing champion, but most of you know me by Trader Travis. And for the last 10 plus years, I've been able to consistently beat the market. But not only that, I've been able to document it and prove it. And you'll see most of that in my YouTube videos. So today, what I'm going to do is go off camera most of the time. It's mainly from the rest of the video. It's going to make my editing process a lot quicker. And so let me go off camera and then walk you through, because the purpose of this video is I told everybody I would let them see me because I re-entered the US Investing Championship for 2022. And I let everybody know, say, hey, because last year, well, previously when I won, if you go back to my YouTube videos in 2019, I actually show you my investing account and kind of the performance along the way. I'm saying, hey, this is the account I'm using for the US Investing Championship, and I was kind of just letting you see my progress. This time I'm going in more detail. I'm actually showing you the trades I make each month when I make them. So if I win, if I lose, I don't know where I'll end up, what my performance will be. But irregardless, I want it to be documented along the way so you can see, like, let's say I double my account. Best case scenario, right? You can see exactly what strategies allow me to do that. It won't be a mystery. It won't be like most YouTube gurus who show you stuff after the fact. You can't verify. You don't have any proof. You don't even know if they've ever accomplished it, right? You just hear all these hypey stories, but they don't actually show you what they call receipts, right? Show me your brokerage account. Well, I'm going to show you that, right? So anyway, let me go off camera and dig into this month's episode. And I just want to really do a quick update here to let you know I re-entered the US Investing Championship. For those who don't know, I am a US Investing Champion for the Futures and Options Division for 2019. 2020, I came in, I think top 6 or top 10, I can't recall. And then 2021, I took a break because my mother passed away, so I didn't enter the competition. So I entered for 2022, and I actually have been profiling my results. And as you saw here in January 31st, I shared some of those results. Full transparency, I lost money during the correction because I used a gambling blueprint. So let me show you that account here, which is toast. It's at 14 grand. And if you don't know, if you haven't been following along and started like at 32 or 34 grand, completely irresponsible to lose that much money, but it is not surprising to me that I lost that much money. And I talked about that here in this video. That's actually what happens when you use gambling blueprints. Now, am I that distraught that I lost that much money? No, because it doesn't make a material difference to our life. We don't need the money. And I haven't told you the interesting backstory to this account. It actually started with $7,000 when I obtained it, and I actually grew it to about 34 in a couple of years, following proven blueprints. And mainly I was fortunate because the environment I was trading it in, where the market just pretty much went straight up since I owned it. And so all I did was one strategy, the 3X growth strategy. And I just kept compounding the money. I literally only invested about $2,000 to start with, 2 of the 7. And I never invested any more. If the 2 doubled to 4, I compounded that, and I just kept compounding it until it got to $34,000. And then I decided, hey, let me use this account for the investing competition, and gamble away all of my gains I made. But anyway, I just want to share that for full transparency. I've already talked about that. I won't rehash all the lessons learned from that. You can watch this previous video I recorded here on January 31st that talks about that and the mindset in which you have to be careful with. But I do want to give credit to Peter. And I said I re-entered this competition. What do I mean? Well, Peter left a comment here. Peter's my co-trainer for a former course I had called Success Academy. And Peter's watched me double accounts, earn 30, 40, 50, 60%. He's watched me do things that people say are impossible. And so he said, hey, you can pause this and read his comment. But basically he was saying, hey, Travis, you ever thought about using the blueprints you teach us? Because when you do well. When you step away, you do bad. And so my comment to him was, I believe that this U.S. Investing Championship was a gambling competition, in my humble opinion. Right. And that I didn't think I could win using my proven blueprints. I had this belief that I needed to gamble. And I thought about that over and over again. I said, that's it's something I learned from a multimillionaire recently. He said, that's a statement of belief, not a statement of fact. Right. So that's just my belief, but I could be wrong. And so I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to re-enter the competition with a second account. So yes, I paid another entry fee for a second account. Unfortunately, I won't be able to use my results from like January to March. When you join, you have to show this account balance for when you start. So this is another account I'm going to use for the competition. I entered it on March 7th, 2022. In the middle of the market correction. And so you can see the date here. You can see the balance. I have to show them my account number so that way they can see it's a real money account and then they can follow along. So that account, when I entered the competition, is at 59,000. And so what I'm going to do is actually, Peter, this is an honor of you, because you're coming. I'm going to use my proven blueprints. And I'm going to see, right? My first account toasts. If I get back to break even on that account, meaning if I go from $14,000 back up to 30 something, that's luck. If that happens, that's a miracle. I'll be happy, but I'm not expecting to do good on this account at all. And I'm still trading it. I swapped up. I'm not gambling anymore in this. I swapped to my proven blueprints and I'm now conservative, but being conservative, you don't make a lot of money, right? So I don't expect me to do very well here. So whatever. I have another account here where I'm going to use my proven blueprints, the blueprints I teach in any of my training programs where I mentor people. And so you can see them here. Like right now, I'm in the middle of a put ladder. This one is a combination of a monthly put ladder as well as a weekly put ladder. For those who know that strategy, you can see the profit and loss open here, $6,000. I also have some 3X growth strategy trades. So if you've been following my public 3X growth strategy case study, I'm going to use this. It's the members version, but it's about the same amount. So I'm just going to bridge those two case studies together. You see a cash flow trade here. Then a USL trade was another like gambling case study I was doing. I'm going to close that out. But basically, yeah, Peter, I'm going to use my proven blueprint and try to grow this account and see where I end up. Right now, I started with 59. March 7th is March 20th. It's at 61,000. So it's working out so far. And so we'll see where I end up at the end of the competition with this account. But I just wanted to let you know I re-entered the competition. Now I'm going to use the proven blueprints I teach my members and then see what type of performance I get in this account. Now coming here, we have, let's see, Market Club. Just triggered a green weekly. So we were in the middle of a correction. It's potentially over. time will tell if this is just a fake out and it continues going down, because we still have a red monthly trade triangle here, which means the long-term trend is still bearish. But if you look at the correction, a lot of people stressed out because it was so long. It was like 2.5 months, which in this, well, to a lot of people, it felt like a long time. 2.5 months is nothing when you compare how long most people invest. I've been investing for several decades now, back in the early 90s, right? So 2.5 months is nothing compared to how long my career I want it to be. I could be investing for 60 years. 2.5 months is nothing compared to a 60-year career. And then but it feels a long time when you're going through it. But if you look at the 2-year chart, right? Look at that correction now with the 2-year chart. I mean, it's nothing, right? The market went up for 2 years. So for it to rest and pull, I mean, for 2.5 years, I mean, for 2.5 months, when for 2 years it pretty much went up, come on. I mean, you got to give it some credit. It deserves to rest, like a runner, right? Doesn't it deserve the rest? And you pull out a 5-year chart, and you look at the same correction on the 5-year chart, you're like, oh, that correction is nothing compared to the bear market of 2020. And it looks like some of the other minor pullbacks it's had over the time frame of 5 years, right? So this is just what the stock market does. I say it wiggles around. It never goes straight up or straight down. This is what the stock market does. People who want to be investors, active investors, need to own that reality and embrace that reality. And the quicker they embrace that reality, the quicker they will do better in the stock market. Is when they resist that reality. Like, oh, it's falling. I want to stop placing trades and this is too much for me. And they just won't accept that this is how the stock market works. But once you embrace that reality and that truth, that is a statement of fact. That's not my opinion. You can look at this and see that's a statement of fact. The market doesn't go straight up or straight down. It wiggles around. But once you embrace that fact, you can devise strategies to profit around that fact, strategies that work despite the volatility and the up and down of the market. That is how you win at the game of investing. You don't win at the game of investing by fighting the fact of how the stock market moves over time. You win by embracing that fact and then devising strategies, tools, and systems that can still allow you to make money despite the erratic behavior of the stock market. So that's my 2 cents for the day. I will be back probably in a month to show you the results of both accounts and see where they are at profit or loss wise. So you'll see 2 things. One, how I grow an account with my proven blueprints, as well as, hey, when Travis loses money, how does he come back from the brink of destruction where he lost more than half of the value of his account? How does a person come back from that? And I kind of already told you. You come back from it by first stop engaging in the stupid activity you were engaging in that caused you to lose the money, aka gambling, right? Then once you stop that stupid behavior, you then shift and transition to more prudent behavior. The journey and road back to recovery, back to break even is long, painful, and you will be impatient, but it is needed if you ever want to get back to where you started. So that is what you will see, the slow slog back to regaining the money I lost. So you'll be able to see both approaches moving forward. So that's all I have for you today. You take care, and I will see you in the next update. Bye-bye.